I don't know. Hey guys, Kelly Walker Slaughter here, your host of Warren First 931, alongside with.
I'm Brian Carr, and welcome to my home.
And this is not quarantine, everybody. I feel like I've been like this. I feel like this is not COVID times. This is not 2020. So, but with that said, thank you for joining us this morning. As again, the roads are fine. It's just with school closures, kids at home. This is just going to be a little bit easier for us to handle. And today is going to be a short one, just because of the simple fact we do have. Even though my child that goes to Covenant Academy School got closed today, we have to go to MTSU today to do the Invention Convention. And one of his projects that he did with his friend Aiden Gillum, they won at school, so they get to present it to the big boys today. So, but with that said, good morning, all. I hope everybody's good. Real quickly, it is 13 degrees in downtown McMinnville, but it feels like 0. I have been outside already this morning, and I don't want to say anything inappropriate, so. It was really cold. Let's just say that. It was really cold. But today's high is going to be 22 degrees. Tonight's low is going to be 13 degrees. Now, it does say, Brian, we're going to have like clouds and sun. So I can't wait to see what that will all entail. I do not know. But again, the rest of the week of the weather, Friday is supposed to be 36 at high, 12 degrees low tomorrow night. Saturday, 45. And then Sunday, 49. I mean, it's just sunny weather. We're not going to see it. There's no more snow, guys, in the forecast. The only thing I see, like on our 14-day forecast, next Thursday, there's going to be a potential chance of rain, 48%. So enjoy this nice sun, warm weather when it does decide to come out, I guess is the best way to say it, right? But again, thanks to Reddick Brown Ford for being our community weather sponsors. And if anybody's ever interested in joining forces and teaming up with us, you are welcome to call us anytime at 931-305-0869. So just simple and easy. So what are you up to this morning, Brian?
Well, I had to let my animals out, and when I went outside, we've still got some flurrying going on here. It's nothing like real heavy snow, but it's pretty to see the snow in the air. And then I've got a busy day. One of the things that you guys may not know is that Kelly and I are working on loading up tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show ought to be a biggie. So
we're going on the road.
Tune in for that. But we've also got a lot of things going on this weekend that we're already making preparations for. And for me in particular, I'll be at the Mary Poppins show. Yep. I'll be helping out with that. So I get to go meet with the young people this morning at the Park Theater. So we'll be putting on, because today was supposed to be school shows, and there were supposed to be certain schools that came to the Park Theater today. But since school is out, and we'll keep you posted if school's out tomorrow. But who knows? I mean, we've been putting things up on Warren First as far as the Tennessee Closings site, which is a really good site. And it tells you, all the other school systems within the state that are closed, which, look, yesterday, if you looked at it, the map was totally blue. Pretty much every county throughout the state was out.
So. And then now a lot of people did call me, Brian, over the yesterday, because there was some rumors going around. I haven't got a confirmation on this, guys, so don't take my word on it. But from what I heard yesterday, like today is the last snow day for Warren County schools. And anything after that is going to be like a virtual learn, I think, is what I was told.
Well, it really depends. It depends on the school calendar because yes, today is the very last stored day that we have built
That's what I was
into
saying.
the
Yeah.
actual calendar. But after that, it depends on if they do a virtual day or not.
Mhm.
Look, we still have a few more weeks of winter to really go through. So if they have to add days at the end of the year, because to my understanding, they're supposed to have 180 days that they
Right.
actually meet. So that and there have been times where in certain school systems when they've uh, gone over those days, they have to build days in at the end of the year. Doesn't really conflict with like graduation and things like that, but for I know for students and teachers, a lot of them don't like to do that. But you
Yeah.
do what you have to do. And it's not Dr. Swallow's call in the grand scheme of things. It's the state's
Right.
call. They have these state mandates that they have to. 'Cause there are tax dollars at work, so there has to be some accountability for that. So parents, kids, don't get all worked up. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
But really and truly, this was the smart thing to do. Again, because everybody else is out. So
Exactly. And good morning to Dwayne and Bernadette. I don't know if it's Dwayne messaging or Bernadette. I got ripped one on Sunday, but they said it was snowing at 7 a.m. in Morrison today. Good morning, y'all, from Christy Cassidy. She also said there was flurries in the Dibble area. Thank you for letting us know. And to you, Aaron Jacobs, they said they've been sending virtual schoolwork home. I thought Friday, as of last week, was virtual. Now, depending on what county you're in, Aaron, I don't know. I know like Coffee County and Cannon counties have been doing a virtual learn because a lot of y'all posted on there saying, "Isn't this a Warren County page?" It is, but we have a lot of people. I wanted to address that today. We have a lot of people that listen to us in Coffee County, Cannon County, Grundy County, Cumberland County. And again, because these people travel, people are traveling to their jobs here. So they wanted one of them said, thanks for letting us know about roads and stuff because they didn't know how bad the roads were going to be when they wanted to come to work. Because their boss or whoever their job is where they go, they don't get that from their bosses. Shout out to Retha this morning. If they're out tomorrow, Friday, Retha Muncie is saying if Warren County is out tomorrow, Friday will be a virtual day. Yes, it was a virtual day last Friday as well. And then Retha said still flurrying in Morrison. And I appreciate everybody with the comments. It's always really
yes.
helpful because this is how, they always say, Brian, it takes a tribe to raise a child, right? And this is what this is. We're a tribe. And so again, thanks to each and every one of you. Also too, don't forget that today it is a very important day. And I had the newsletters are in my car. Today at the Warren County High School in the auditorium, they are still hosting the dedication ceremony for Russell Watson. He was a teacher at the Warren County High School, an ag teacher to be exact. And they are dedicating the ag wing in his name. They're going to name the agricultural wing at the Warren County High School in his name. And so all of it's going to be held in the auditorium. I talked to Chris Cope and a lot of the school board officials yesterday. Please tune in because we will, if you cannot make it, this is very important. If you can't make it today, it's at 4:30 because I understand that's kind of a weird time just getting off of work and things like that. But Mr. Watson would not care what you look like, how you are. He would just want you to be you. And that's the truth. And so if you're coming straight off a tractor coming in to see his dedication today, I really think that would make him proud, honestly, because he had so much dedication to not just his students, but just to everything he did. Okay. He was not my teacher, but he talked to me when I was in school. Like when he had the most fun, interesting conversations. He would check on you, be like, are you doing okay? He was those teachers in my day, 20 years ago. I don't care to say how old I am. I am 40 years old. And Mr. Watson taught at the Warren County High School for 44 years. And for him to touch students not only in the ag wing, but students that wasn't, there is so many stories I've heard since his passing last year in October of students that he was the first teacher to tell me that I could make something of myself, whether that was going to college, going to TCAT. I mean, Brian, the stories are endless. And I want that auditorium, guys, to be packed to the nines where there is no room left. I want standing room only. But if you can't be there, Warren First has been graciously asked if we could stream it today. So the courtesy of Warren First 931 and as well as Community TV TN, Jonathan Womack, we are going to be live streaming through Warren First 931 and Community TV TN today so you guys can see it. We're going to start out with interviews with some students, the school board, maybe get his family members on there because they're going to be talking today in the ceremony. But that starts at 4:30 today as far as the ceremony goes if you want to come in person. But if you want to watch it here out on the show, we're going to be kicking it live at 4 o'clock today. So I just want everybody to come out, show up. If you got your old, your FFA jackets, I mean, how awesome, Brian, would it be to paint the auditorium purple?
Oh, hey, listen, it just shows what one person's life can do when it comes to others. And we got a great comment on there. Christy Perkins Cassidy wrote, I heard he taught about 4,500 children. So I've always been one of the big reasons why I love the school system so much, and why, and people who know me know that I'm a Christian conservative, and that's odd for Christian conservatives to step into the world of education. It's not really their wheelhouse, but it's because of these type of teachers. They have such a sphere of influence on our young people, and they really change the future. They change perceptions, they change ideologies, they enlighten young people to know that there is more out there. So kudos to the life of Mr. Watson and what he did for this community, and for those that are following his legacy of making Warren County better and making enlightening people about what the ag sciences are. And you think about, I talked the other day about, and I don't know if it was here or on another broadcast or something, but there is a strong connection between the University of Tennessee at Martin and Warren County. Yeah. Both my parents went to UT Martin, and I know several other folks that from the Warren County area that went to Martin, and Martin is known for its ag program. Yeah. And it's because of these types of teachers. And I know a young lady, and she's a mutual friend of ours, because she was involved in FFA when she was in high school. She wound up going to MTSU, getting into the ag program there, and then she's a veterinarian, and she's wildly successful. She's wonderful, got a beautiful family, but on top of everything, it's because of the roots in high school. And guys, you know, when you talk about the Warren County Fair and how that correlates to the high school building and then the community involvement and everything, McMinnville, Warren County is such a special place, and we're so blessed to live here. So thank you to his family. Thank you to all of those that are hosting this commemorative movement. And it's the life of Mr. Watson shall be honored for here and for the near future. For Warren County. So thank you to those, and it's the Fair Board. Tell who all is responsible, Kelly, for who's doing this.
So from what I understand, Stephen Hilton called me, and this was a school board decision. I think the Fair Board may have been involved a little bit as well. I'm not completely sure on that without asking Stephen, because he's the one that called me, and because me and Stephen were on the first ever Fair Board, Youth Fair Board in Warren County. But and again, that's another like Mr. Watson and Marla Cantrell, that they, you know, it was one of those things they always like instilled in you, you know. But the school board really started, I think, the role for this to get the ball rolling. And I think this is well deserved, because if you guys read my story that we wrote in this week's newsletter, I got some information from other news articles. I put his obituary in there because, of course, in case you didn't know, he passed away last year in October. But when he started the agricultural wing at Warren County High School. He was the only teacher, and his first initial students that he taught were 300.
Wow.
See, and she just talked about 4,500. That might have been how many kids he went through and taught, but that does not include the ones that were not in his class, guys. There is no telling. I want to say that number is infinite, because he really did. Everybody can chime in on here, but between UT Martin and Murfreesboro, because a lot of the FFA events were held at those two events. And if you went there, Stephen Helton was saying a story about what he did. And they went down there, and those those MTSU guys told him, you know what, son, you have a future in this. If you really want this, we can help. You can get a scholarship, and we can get you to go to MTSU. And that's when Stephen was told, as a junior in high school, he was told that. And he looked at Mr. Watson and he said, Mr. Watson, do you think I can do this? And he goes, yes, I think you can do anything you can put your mind to. And that was the first time Stephen was told that he could go to college by any teacher. And so I'm telling you guys, there's teachers in the Warren County system that are making a difference with these students. You may not see it on a daily basis, but we have got to give praise where praise is due. Mm-hmm. And if you are not praying for your teachers, praying for your schools, I always say this, there is a power in praying. Whether you believe in God or not, when you get a group together that believes in something, that, is hopeful for something, we should get together and just, say something nice, whether it's a prayer or say, well, I hope that this school, you can do stuff like that. You can. It's very simple. Good morning to Derek Coates, our Sir Derek this morning. He says it's a tad chilly. My brother went to UT Martin also. That was back around 66 and 67. Okay. And shout out to our coffee this morning. If you need a little pick me up or a little hottie toddy, I bet you can go there.
I may be coming to see you here in just a little while. Hey, Kelly, why don't we let everybody know? Hey, if you have a teacher that made a difference in your life, post it in the comments. Let us know. Let's give some love to some of these teachers that made a difference in your life. Doesn't matter if they're still around or not. Let's just pay an homage to these wonderful teachers that have done so much for us and guided us to where we are. So,
now, Brian. Yes. I don't want to, this is going to be our last thing about teachers, but can you name, now I always believe if you can remember that teacher's name, that's the teachers that impacted you, right?
Yes.
Can you remember most of your teachers?
I can remember every one of them. I can remember, I went to a daycare that had a kindergarten program in it, but I can remember some of the first names because we called them Miss Page, Miss Joy Collier. I remember her whole name because Miss Joy was tough as nails, and I wound up having a relationship with her after kindergarten. But I moved to a little school outside of the Memphis city limits in the county, and I had Miss Henderson, Miss Crawford, Miss I can't think of my third grade.
Let's see how high you can go.
Yeah, we go through all of them, but I'm trying to think. of who my third grade teacher was, what her name was. I know she was a really petite blonde lady, and she reminds me of one of my other teachers, and I keep wanting to call her Nelba Thomas, my choir director. Nelba Thomas is probably the teacher that made the biggest difference in my life. I had a very tumultuous high school time. My parents went through some problems, but Miss Thomas made a huge difference in my life. Shout out Miss Nelba Thomas. I know you're around, and tomorrow I hope to be seeing one of my former where we're going tomorrow. Some of my people should be there from where I grew up, and I'm excited about reconnecting with them. Yeah, but yeah, everybody's got somebody. Growing up, I thought Pedro Paz was my grandpa. Because that was the biggest name. That was
he
the
was
guy
everybody's family member, man, of something. I called him my fun uncle.
But yeah, Pedro Paz made a huge difference in my life, and I'll tell you, I heard names like Greasy Dotson, Carol Chambers. There were names that I grew up with, but because I didn't grow up here in McMinnville, I would hear about all these people, my parents' teachers, Mr. Woodrow Lanier, and hey, I go to church with Mr. Lanier now, and it's wonderful to see these people and see what they've done and the impact that they've made in my parents' generation, but how that's transition from generation to generation. So, and I love hearing about these teachers that have taught 3 and 4 generations of students here in Warren County.
I was going to say, so I remember Miss Sullivan. I'm going to try to go in order. Miss Sullivan, Miss Gann, Miss Seals, Miss Haston, Miss Ayers. I remember, well, we all know Coach Ben Matheny, right? His mom, Regina Matheny. Love you, Regina. I've had Miss Douglas, Mr. Douglas. I've had both sets of the Douglases. These teachers, Mr. Haley. I want to also say this. I was in the generation of students that were lucky enough to have Mr. Haley teaching government and economics. Okay. He was phenomenal. And also he did a great job teaching us with YSI as well. I have to give him a shout out on that because he was always, since he is our Warren County historian, he would always tell us great stories. And then, in high school, Marla Cantrell, I have to give her a shout out. She could just, Mr. Watson, he wasn't my teacher, but I have to add him in there, guys. There's just so many teachers from kindergarten through high school that have made us who we are today, because we have to remember as parents, as adults, that when we take our kids to school, we are hoping that these teachers are teaching our children not just the education, but how to be amazing adults as well. Like that's what we're teaching them at home. I hope that's what they're teaching them there, right? Thank you to, let's see, is that Nelba Thomas? That was you. That's you, Brian.
Yeah, I had to send some love to my choir teacher. She had some very high standards. She allowed me to get a choral scholarship to go to college at the University of Mississippi. I wound up not going. I wound up at the 11th hour. I wound up going to Freed-Hardeman University.
Gotcha.
Me just a little, but that's okay.
It's all right. And then Miss Tina wrote, I remember one. Her name was Miss Rocks. My first grade teacher. She was amazing. Oh,
thank you, Miss Tina, and shout out to Miss Rocks.
Yes, and good morning to Deborah Joe. We just got a lot of people on. We're not doing commercials today because we're going to be doing a lot of commercials tomorrow.
Oh, we've got a big day tomorrow.
I'm telling you guys, we have a big weekend because we got to start. I got to just try to finish bringing it in. But again, today, please tune in with us as at 4:00, we will be going live stream at the Warren County High School auditorium, where you're going to see video and audio. We're going to have all of that there between Warren First 931 and Community TVTN for the Russell Watson dedication ceremony to the Ag Wing. And then Friday morning, we are not going to be in the houses. We are not cabin bound anymore. We are going on the road. And that's going to be me, Brian, and Madeline. I can't tell you where yet because I really want to. I really do. But you need to tune in tomorrow to see where we have taken ourselves. And then when you realize where we're at, you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Or Kelly, where some people talk about it, we get to live it. We
Yeah.
get to bring it to you, Warden
Yeah.
County. So
Yeah.
tune in tomorrow. And if you can't tune in at the specific time,
Mm-hmm.
tune in throughout the day. That's the beautiful thing about podcasting. You can always come back to it.
Exactly. And I do want to say thank you to the group of individuals that emailed us back yesterday and is allowing us to coming in. Because from what I've heard, guys, which I think this is a great opportunity for us, we're going to be the first ever media to be in there. So,
well, we're going first type of media of our kind to do stuff like that. So we're doing some groundbreaking stuff. But hey, that's what we do. We're only as creative as the ideas that God allows us to have, and we're just very blessed to be able to do this and report these great stories back to you guys. So thank you, Our Coffee.
Yes, and then Saturday, tune in as we will be going live with the Pioneer Playbook at 1:30 at Mud Bums. We're gonna go hit up Brett Simmons' place once again, and we're gonna set up and we're gonna have some special guests on the show. I believe Madeline has got a great lineup. She's had this lined up for months now, but we're gonna have some special guests on. Some champions are going to be coming on our show, and it's just going to be great. Again, Pioneer Playbook. Brian can also help me out on this. This is a show for all sports, not just Warren County, not just middle school sports that's school related. This is all sports. She's talked about Special Olympics already. That includes McMinnville Special Games and the Area 9 Special Games Area 9. We have talked to the cheerleaders. She's talked to the football team. She's talked to basketball. Good Lord, flag football's coming up.
Hey,
wrestling, Pioneerettes.
This is the inaugural season of our own Warren County Pioneers flag football team, and because of Title IX and because of efforts that we people have made, and I say we because I've got young ladies, we've made in women's sports. We've got girls that are able to be part of things. They're not just relegated to being on the sideline or they've got their own thing. And this is really exciting to see because this is going to shape again, Mr. Martin, who's coaching this between him and his wife working through the high school. They're about to make a huge impact in a lot of people's lives. They already do, but here's another avenue where they can challenge young people. This will be, it'll be amazing. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, this group of young ladies will be the first group. They will be the first to have done this. So
we're making history, guys. It's making history. If I had flag football, oh my gosh. It's like I told Andy Jones that, was one of the two wrestlers that started. Yeah. If I had somebody to say, Kelly, I think you'd be a great wrestler. Would you like to try? But I didn't at the time, because wrestling wasn't a popular thing for girls. And then, if we had flag football, because I played flag football in college, they called it the Powder Puff League. And I was the quarterback.
What? Kelly, we learn something new about you every day.
I know. Not a lot of people know this. I open it up very rarely. And I had to train my my sorority girls. Yes, I did. It was hard, but I got it through it. Like they didn't want to break their nail. I said, then you're in the wrong sport, man. But no, I think that this is great. I cannot wait to see. There's so many new things, pickleball, flag football. What's that other? Wiffle ball. These are sports that are becoming popular, and some are now becoming an Olympic thing, which I think is crazy. And I can't wait to see dodgeball. I mean, that's a serious thing. That takes some skill.
Now, I want to see some break dancing. I want to see some better break dancing than that young lady from Australia. Do you remember that story? Ray Gunn is what she called herself, her street name. But it was the worst breakdancing at Warren County. If we've got any breakdancers,
We
please
do.
set the record straight.
Please do, because I think we do have, like, I think Jalen and all them know how to do it at this point.
Hey, listen, our dancing programs here in Warren County are second to none.
No.
With what we've got going on, I mean, winning state titles this year with our Pioneerettes, they play so well in the national tournament they just got back from, and then our middle school winning a national title
Yes.
down in Orlando this last week. We've got a lot of stuff to look forward to.
We really do. We really do. And again, if you're just now tuning in with us, and thank you to the 24 plus watchers this morning. Love it. And I love all the little emojis, like with the hearts and the caring. But again, it is 14 degrees in McMinnville, but it feels like -3. That's the only thing that changed. This morning it was 0. But it's supposed to be partly cloudy with conditions expected around 3 p.m. The lowest feels a temperature as of right now is going to be -3 around the 8 o'clock hour. But the high today it's only going to get 22 degrees. So please be careful and cautious when driving on the roads. Some roads are better than others. A majority of the roads, I went in town yesterday, and we're going to go into town here in a few minutes for the Invention Convention. But some parking lots did have ice on them. And so be careful and cautious when you walk on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
oh, Lord.
And we've got a lot of good stuff going on in the future. And one of my friends that's watching, hey, you got a big show coming up. I don't know when the auditions are. I know they'll be soon, and we'll post more about it. But Mama Mia's coming to town.
They are
excited about Mama Mia. You know who you are. And then we've got this wonderful middle school wrestling team, and then we've got great football that's coming up. So shout out to you. You know who you are. And it's the only reason I know is because I see you on my thing. Tells me who's watching. But yeah, we've got a lot of great things here in Warren County, from dancing to acting to sports. And hey, look, we've got some academics that are on the rise too. So we just got to continue with that. So all the parents that are at home that are wondering what they can do with their kid, if your kid has a Chromebook, they have access to a Clever page. And in their Clever page, there's all kinds of things that the Warren County school system pays for. So make sure that you get with your child, look at these things, and I'll tell you two that I really like are iExcel and iReady. You can go through those programs. You can ask your child what they're doing in those things. It's a great way to do some supplemental type work on a day like today when everybody's kind of indoors for the most part. But if you and I'll tell you one of the things, their virtual assignment, not understanding because it happened so quickly, they weren't able to prepare because our lower grades that the kids don't have Chromebooks, they generally send home packets. But because the decision was made for that after the fact, after school had let out and they didn't have time to prepare for that, read with your kids. Make them right. Do something that encourages and stimulates growth, because hey, those TCAPs are coming in April, and March is a great month to do review with your child, and it can never start too early. So we're hoping for good, not just growth scores. We got decent growth scores in this last round, but we need proficiency scores. We need to show that we are not just growing, but being proficient at these subjects.
I agree 100%. And Junior, I don't know why you always throw these outlandish comments. He said, is anyone wearing shorts like me this morning? Absolutely not. Our coffee's giving a clap. Dawn Wanamaker said, enjoyed you being live at the Mary Poppins. My sweet Maggie got bit by the arts bug, and Brian sure is one of the folks that water and nurtures her interest.
Listen, I got to brag on little Maggie. She's probably the tiniest person up there on the stage, but she's got the biggest heart. And oh my goodness, and she just loves doing it. And she's one of the younger ones, but she interacts so well with those bigger kids. I mean, they all love her, and she loves them. And you got a team. You got a team of a cast of kids. And shout out to Dana Sexton and Delaney Sullivan and all those folks that are running this show. We've got Holly McNeil. We've got her sister-in-law.
I see her face.
Joanna Carden. We've got all these wonderful people that are working and involved in this show, and to see these young people flourish, I imagine what kind of stuff she's going to do when she's a senior in high school.
Yeah,
it's going to be incredible. So thank you, Dawn, for that. But yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to this weekend with that show coming up.
Exactly. And even though that the school sponsored shows are canceled for today, still the show starts tomorrow, Friday. I believe the doors open up at 6.
Yes.
And so you still can get your tickets. You can go to, I don't have my sign that Joe made me. I will want to say it's McMinnvilleParkTheater.com. You can get your tickets there, or you can go and take the drive and go to the Park Theater and walk upstairs and get your tickets that way as well. But there's going to be showings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes, and I apologize jumping in because I'm on the page here, but they're going to have a Saturday 2 p.m. show. So a matinee and a
you go ahead and keep talking about that, Brian. I got to go wake up Walker and I'll be right back.
Hey, you're fine. So yes, the Mary Poppins show, the Friday night show begins at 7. Saturday at 2 p.m. they'll have a matinee on, and then Saturday night at 7 o'clock they'll have their night show, and then rounding out on Sunday at 2 o'clock they'll have the Sunday matinee show. So we've got a lot to look forward to with Warren Arts. And again, if you've never been in a show before, we've got some coming up. We got some auditions coming up. We got the Lion King coming up, auditions for that. We've got, let me go back and see what we've got here. We've got, my apologies, folks. I'm flipping back and forth, but we've got the Lion King auditions coming up. We've also got for this summer, Mamma Mia, and that is going to be a spectacular cast. I already know some of the folks who are planning on auditioning for the show, and they are so talented. So, and just to say, if this is your first show and you think, I won't get a part, you never know until you try. But look, if you don't get a main part, if you get in the ensemble, if you get to be around these folks, you will grow by leaps and bounds. And that's been one of the great things about me. A lot of times I don't even want to audition for the big shows. I'm not that good of a singer. I'm decent, but I'm not that good.
Give me a break.
Well, listen,
he can sing, y'all.
But what I like to do is I like to help out in the ensembles and be part of the crew. And there's been a few shows that I've come in the 11th hour, and because something's happened, like somebody got sick, that they need somebody, and I get to come in and sing backstage. Oh, I love being able to do stuff like that, because first off, I get to learn new music. And I'll tell you about having children that I've got twin 12-year-old daughters. They love Broadway show tunes. And so I've been learning so much Broadway here, at least recently. It's been so much fun. And we've actually been going on. One of my favorite YouTube channels to watch is Watch Mojo. I don't know if you're familiar with that YouTube channel, but they do a lot of what's happening, but they do a lot of recaps about the best musicals and of the 20th century. So I've been exposed to a lot of things. And so the other night on one of the snow nights, we watched Phantom of the Opera, and I'd never seen it all the way through. Oh man, you talk about it. This was the
Phantom of the Opera is here.
So yeah, it was so good. And this was the one with Gerard Butler. So this was, man, it was incredible.
That's my hall pass, everybody. Gerard Butler's my hall pass. But he has to sing, and he has to have the Phantom of the Opera mask on. Okay.
Now, isn't he the one in the 300 with the abs and everything?
Yes.
Maybe I can paint some on.
You can pick any character. But when I found out, okay, I am a huge Phantom of the Opera fan. My dad and mom, when we did nursery conventions, we would go to Chicago and places like that, and they took us to an actual Broadway play, and it was Phantom of the Opera. And I had glasses, and when the chandelier came down from the ceiling, scared the bejesus out of me where my glasses fell. And the lady that caught him brought him back up and said, "Did somebody lose glasses?" And so then I got to watch the rest of the show. Luckily.
Oh,
But that was my first time watching the Phantom of the Opera, and I was hooked. That was the original OG guy that wrote it. Now I can't think of it because now my mind's going away. But then when Gerard Butler did it, and I had no clue, okay, I looked up and I was like, "Holy crap, he can sing!" So
well, look, Russell Crowe,
Crowe can sing.
Hugh Jackman. Look,
Yeah.
these actors that do these really macho movies are in these musicals. And look,
The Rock.
The Greatest Showman.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Greatest Showman. I have said this a million times. If Warren Archer, somebody wants to do The Greatest Showman, please let me know. I would love just to be in the backup chorus, just to sing it out. I
I'll
don't need
play
to
the
lead
bearded
role. I'll
woman.
be in the background.
I'll be the bearded woman.
No, you'll just give me your beard hair and we'll transfer it onto me.
Oh my goodness, I got plenty of it, guys. I don't know how many of you know this, but I'm keeping this for a reason. For those that know me, know the reason. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas can get here sooner than you think, guys.
Oh my goodness.
You never know. We might have a visitor.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Tina. I hope you have a wonderful and warm day. But real quickly, Old Oak Mercantile, their grand opening, you're getting close to being March 1st is going to be their grand opening. They said, everyone mark your calendar. We will have refreshments, store prizes throughout the day. And everyone who stops in, please come by and draw. If they're located on, come on down to North Spring Street in just 9 days. And this is where, the old Wallen Arcade building is. Mm-hmm. There on North Spring Street. And as my mommy is calling me. And then also too, before I forget to mention this, guys, with you, today there is going to be, where'd it go? Here we go. So ceremony. Okay. So today is the Hope Chest Thrift Store. Okay. And they're having their red ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony. It is still going on today. Okay. I can't be there. So if somebody else can, that'd be great. We will be giving out prizes, and we will have food and live entertainment by Solidarity Gospel Singers from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Chamber of Commerce will be there for a ribbon cutting. We would love to have you guys out there with us and show support. So again, that is going on today. Do you know, somebody just messaged me, another Kelly. They said, are the courts open today?
Haven't heard anything about them being closed.
Me neither. Let me text Ryan J right quick.
All right.
And then I can get that out because we are starting to get to the end because I have to get Walker dressed and ready because I still hear no movement in the bedroom. So. Today is the courthouse open. This is how we work, guys, especially at home. It's a little different. So I do apologize. But we'll get back into the swing of things next week. But don't forget, I cannot stress this enough. Tomorrow's show is going to be epic.
Road trip.
Road trip. We're going to be out there the whole day. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to have amazing interviews. Brian says this all the time. I say it all the time. God always gives you what you can handle. God always puts, everything in place. And I really think that's what's happening right now. And I'm blessed beyond belief. Yes, the court is open.
Wow, look at that. Somebody ask a question.
Yeah, that's how we do it here. Listen, everybody jokes about when I worked at the radio, people would joke about I have a little black book. Now, some people have a little black book with their ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever. I have a black book of like, if you need a guy, I got a guy. So I have but I can't give you out everybody's number though. That's my one thing because
I got a black book and it's called the Bible.
There you go. There you go. But again, guys, we're going to wrap it up because I do have to get ready. I promised to get a kid around 8:30, 8:45, and I still can't get my kid out of the bed. But with that, I appreciate Brian coming on with me and changing it up a little bit. I like how you got the snowman behind you.
Oh, yes, that is a Dorothy Joe classic right there.
Okay.
I think that was in her house, and now it's here.
It.
So
I like it.
we'll be
But guys, right now in downtown McMinnville, it is still, I want y'all to know it's going to be chilly today. So beware accordingly. It is 14 degrees. It's still -3. It feels like -3. The high is going to be 22. So all that, and we're getting reports from people in Morrison and Dibble saying that it's still snowing in certain areas. There's flurries. I'm looking out my window here in the Shelfsford Road area. It doesn't look much. It just, but the sun is coming out, which is a good thing. But please be cautious while going traveling today. And if you know anybody elderly that may not need to be out on the roads, I will also say, maybe go help them, or somebody that's just had recent surgery, seeing if they need groceries or something like that, something easy and simple. I will say, challenge today, do an act of kindness. Do one act of kindness. I don't care what it is. But we will be back on the show tomorrow. Our goal is to be on at 9 a.m. tomorrow, where we will be at, or will we be stationed at. Hopefully, everything will work out. But if it's not right at 9, we'll come right on a little after. But on tomorrow's show, we do have part 2, or take 2, I should say. Take 2 of Rex Crabtree. Yeah. How do you do it? Yeah. Rex Crabtree. He's going to call and talk to us. He was going to do it today with me, but he's still a little hoarse from the elementary championships that happened over the weekend, which if you did not see the last 2 minutes of the buzzer we did the last 2 minutes of the boys game against Dibble and Centertown. There's a reason that moms do not need to be there at ball games. I don't have to be there, and I feel like my heart was coming out of my chest. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So, but Madeline will talk a little bit more about that on tomorrow's show because I don't want to take all of it, but she's going to be hosting the show with me and Brian tomorrow, as we're all going to have our moving parts that day. But guys, I'm telling you, come today for Mr. Watson's dedication ceremony, 4th Auditorium. Come dressed, come ready. If you can't be there, we will be broadcasting live here on Warren First 9 through 1 and Community TV 10 at 4 o'clock today, interviewing a lot of the folks that's on the agenda. And then at 4:30, you watch the ceremony. And if you can't be there, I always say this: say a prayer for his family. Losing a loved one is not the easiest thing in the world. Me and Brian both know that. But I know that he's in a better place, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I know he is smiling down on all of us, saying, keep it green or something. Whatever he used to say to us, but again, that's today at 4:30. And then tomorrow, tune in for starting at 9 o'clock. We're going to be broadcasting. And then don't forget to also mark your calendars for the Pioneer Playbook, 1:30 at Mud Bums on Saturday, where we're going to have, I'm going to have a little bit of We Are the Champions playing I'm going to get that ready. I think they should have it. They did, both teams, which was both the Centertown teams, all the schools did a phenomenal job. Let me just say that. And you saw the tears, and I would love to talk about now. I want to talk about now, but I can't. But take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to pick up those newsletters. That's what I remembered, Brian, because I had it propped up. Here we go. See, this talks about Mr. Watson right there. Talks about, because there's a column that we do. It's called People First, people that are involved in the community, that are inspiring, that are resilient, and they empower people. And so this is just a couple of pages talking about him, followed by, in case you missed it, this past weekend was School Resource Officer Day. And I just wanted to put a little blurb in for them because they do so much for our community. Don't forget, guys, severe storms are still on their way between now and next week. If you haven't got a chainsaw or the proper equipment to fix your house, go check out our boys at McMinnville Lawn and Garden to get the hook up on those chainsaws. And then, of course, Brian was out of town, which was okay on this one, but me and Melody got to be on Friday night. So if you missed the Sister Hazel and John Salloway concert, that it gives you a little tidbit of all the fun stuff that we did with there. And then, of course, Brian Carr throwing it down because we were all about the news from the mat. And you can see all the people advancing to this weekend. It's on Friday and Saturday with wrestling this weekend, as well as the basketball team. District Ready, Madeline wrote a great article for the Lady Pioneers and our Guy Pioneers team about this weekend's games as well. And then showing all the photos and pictures of everybody that made all district, most improved. Followed by our shout out. Brian already did a little shout out about it. Our Warren County High School and Middle School dance teams, nationals bound, man. I mean, we cannot brag enough about these teams. It's really nice, guys, to have to be able to talk about our kids in newspapers. I'm just telling you, less crime, more news about the kids.
Yes, right.
Of course, the Pioneer Playbook, Madeline did a little mention there. I also want to do a quick shout out about this. If you are interested in a highlight for your MVP, we're offering during the Pioneer Playbook a way to show your love and support for your kids through MVP ads. The ads will include, the pictures will be included in the newsletter with a graphic. Also, your MVP will be highlighted on the show during the 2 to 3 breaks, which can include a message and a photo for your MVP. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We have a deal going on right now. They're just $10. And again, exciting news. We already talked about the upcoming event for the ribbon cutting for the thrift store. So please, guys, make your time and go out for that. And then we've talked about Mary Poppins. Again, this weekend, check out the dates for the Lion King auditions to Saturday. So many big things are going on this week. If there's too many things going on to the point there you have no reason not to pick something to do.
Oh, Kelly, there ain't nothing ever going on in Warren County.
Well, no. Now I'm going to smack you. Stop it. Put your face over to the corner of your camera and then... But also there's a cook-off going on the 22nd and then the upcoming Master Gardeners. So again, if you want to get this newsletter, they are out at certain locations. I was not able to get them everywhere, but if you want a digital copy emailed to you, text the keyword local voice to 931-305-0869, and I will email you guys today when I get back from the invention convention so you can have a digital copy. I will also say this before I let you go because there's so much that I always want to talk about. I'm addicted. I do have confirmed that next Monday we are going to have an update on ISHA. And we are going to start just breaking it down from when they started here back in 2008 to educate you guys what a 501c3 is and what that entails. What is a nonprofit? Because before we get our pitchforks and, fire going, I always say we got to educate, right?
Yes.
So we're going to break down what a 501c3 is, what does it entail, and what they're allowed to do and not to do. Okay.
And we're going to reach out to ISHA. We're going to probably do this live on air to see what kind of response we get. We want to be as transparent as possible with this process. We want everybody, we don't want this to be like, oh, you just pick some random person that knows a little bit about it. No, we want to call them. So we want to be as transparent as possible as we make these steps to engage with them so everybody knows what's going on.
Exactly. But with that, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, Warren County, keep it first.